Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alexander from Mission Greatness, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Wheel of Life. Something that I learned from Tony Robbins when I attended his seminar, Unleash the Power Within, many years ago, and he also highlights it in his book, Awaken the Giant Within. It's something that's very popular within the personal development industry, within the personal development space. It really talks about categorizing all of the different areas of your life, everything from relationships to time to money. I'll put a video, I'll put a image right here for you to see. That's pretty much what it looks like, and we're going to go through each of the areas and kind of talk about why this is important and how this can help you with your path to whatever you want to achieve. Whether it's you want to achieve financial freedom, you want to do well in your relationships, well in your business. It's the idea that you want to have a well-rounded and a relatively well balanced life. It's also in here, like I said, Awaken the Giant Within. This is one of his earlier books. I believe it was like in the 90s when he wrote it. I think it was his second big book that he published. This is an older copy. I have a couple of them laying around, but this is one of the older prints then. Still great information. I think it's the same, the exact same info in this one versus the one you can go buy on Amazon for like 15 bucks. Highly recommend it. So, the Wheel of Life, I'm going to pull it up actually in the manual. I'm not going to go through all of this right now. I might pick different spots and different things. If I don't really want to give you all the information from the course, it's something I highly recommend you go to. He does a 4-day event called Unleash the Power Within. He does probably 5 or 6 times around the world, so wherever you are, you can get it. Anyway, so Unleash the Power Within. We're just going to go to the Wheel of Life. Looks very much like this. This is it right here, the Wheel of Life. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. I filled it in on a different page, so this one's actually clean. So the idea of it is that we all have different areas of our life. We all have, so essentially, if this was a wheel in your car, how well would it perform? Would you be able to go from 0 to 60 really fast? Or would you only be able to barely even make it around the corner? That's kind of the idea of the Wheel of Life. So let me just read you a couple of the main areas that Tony highlights, but then you can change it to whatever you're working on. For example, some people, if they're working for themselves, they might consider it more of a career or a mission versus someone that just has a job. There's lots of different terminology, but here we go. First is celebrate and contribute. How well do you feel that's going? And what you want to do is you want to rank it from a scale from 1 to 10. And 1 being this is not doing so well. Could even be a 0 actually. I guess technically 0 to 10. So how well am I doing in this area? Second is the physical body. And now something to keep in mind is this is based on your standards. This is not compared to somebody else. So for example, you may not want to have that complete Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilder look. So you're not comparing it to him. You're comparing it to how you feel. Maybe to you, a perfect 10 is just being able to, run a 5K and you're able to move around, you're feeling good and you're looking good. Maybe that's what a 10 is to you. Where that may not be the 10 to a bodybuilder out at the gym, and that's okay. What does it mean to you? So celebrate and contribute, physical body, emotions and meaning. All the emotions that you experience on a regular basis, all of the meanings that you feel, like how are you, you could have a great life on the outside, but if emotionally you're not with it, like you're not grateful and you're not enjoying life and you're not feeling good about it, all those material things, it doesn't matter. So you've got to, how do you feel emotionally? How are you feeling internally? Think about that. Rate that 1 to 10. Relationships. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can vary this. One can be a relationship with others, such as friendships and family, or you could even you could have a separate column for that, and it could be relationships with your significant other or lack thereof, in which case you'd be looking close to a 0 or a 1. So relationships, you can break it out or you can just do relationships altogether. I typically like to break it out because then it kind of shows you where you're lacking and where you can improve. Because a relationship with a significant other might not be doing so well, but your relationships with people in your church, people in your family, your friends might actually be up there 7, 8, 9, or 10. So just keep that in mind, or it could even be vice versa. You know, I know a lot of couples that once they get in a relationship with their boyfriend, girlfriends, wives, husbands, significant other, whatever you want to call it, they start to lack the friendships with other people. So, you know, their relationship with their significant other could be a 7, 8, 9, whereas they realize, well, you know, I spend all my time with him or her, and all I do is that, and I go to work, and I don't really see my family or my friends that often. So where that may be lacking. So it's up to you however you want to do it. I'd recommend both, but whatever works for you. Then you've got time. Time is just, how do you feel you're spending your time? Are you actually getting the things done that you say you need to get done? Are you waking up when you want to get up? How do you feel you're spending those 24 hours? And, you know, just think about it. What is, you know, how do you feel about time? Then in the final couple here are work, career, mission. You know, it's all about the terminology that we use. So, you know, some people just go to their job, they call it. Some people go to their mission. Some people it's a career for them. It's a career path. It's all about however you want to word it. So whatever that is to you, how do you feel about it? And then finally, on this wheel here are going to be finances. You know, how do you feel you're doing financially? Now, like I said, remember, this is compared to you. This is not talking about, you know, compared to Warren Buffett, who has billions and billions of dollars. It's compared to how you feel you are doing. So, you know, are you struggling financially right now? Do you see a path of where you're able to go? At least maybe it's starting your own business. Maybe it's working another job on the side. Maybe it's you know, working harder in your job and be able to get different commission bonuses and, you know, and so forth. Maybe it's working on your investments. You know, maybe it's setting your 401k up and making sure that that's working out in your favor. So how are you doing financially is the final piece. So basically at the end of all this, what you want to do is you want to essentially just put it all together and take a look and see, how does your wheel look? You know, if this was your wheel when you're going in the car, how's it going to operate? And a lot of people don't operate at full 8, 9s, and 10s. You might realize, I know when I did this exercise years ago, I realized that there were things lacking. And a lot of it was because I didn't put the focus into those things. Lack of focus, you're not going to get those results if you don't have the focus and the energy and the effort put into it. So the goal of this is to realize where you are and then realize where you want to go. So take a look at this and be honest with yourself. You know, no one's going to see this. You know, literally write it up on a piece of paper, draw a circle, put like 8 lines through it, and then write those out and see for yourself. You know, this is not about comparing yourself to your neighbor, your kids, or your husband, or your wife, or your, you know, people around you. This is for you and only you. And then be honest with yourself. Where am I? And how can I improve? Where do you want to go? So it might be, say, okay, so with my relationships with, let's say, my friends and family, let's say right now it's maybe at a 2. You're like, I'm not really spending a lot of time there. Well, where do you want that to be in the next, 6 months to 12 months, 6 months to a year? And figure out, okay, well, I don't know if I can get quite to a perfect 10, but I want to at least, get up to a 7 or an 8. And then you want to figure out, how do I do that? And it can really be putting together a plan of action for what you want to do, and ultimately just doing it. So figure out where you are, what are the, where are you doing great right now, continue to focus on that. Where are you not doing as well, continue to, or I should say start to focus on that. And the final thought I have for you is, I think you'll realize that where you're scoring the lowest, at maybe the 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, even 5, is probably where you're spending the least amount of time, energy, and effort. So once again, where you're spending the lowest amount, or the lowest scores, is where you're spending the least amount of time. Think about it, is that true? And I bet if you're doing really well financially, I bet you that's close to a 9 or a 10, I bet you're spending a lot of time there and maybe lacking in another area. So it's not about making everything perfect, it's about trying to figure out where you are and where do you want to go. So if you have liked this video, please subscribe below, leave a comment, press the thumbs up. If you don't like it, put the thumbs down, that's fine too. I just want to see that you're out there listening and hopefully benefiting from this content. If you liked this video, I'm going to do a couple more that are going to probably go a little bit more in detail on the wheel of life and different areas, so definitely stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.